What's up guys, this is Yasin. So when I made my YCS Kudo deck profile, because I topped the YCS with Crystron Horus, I mentioned actually that the Horus engine was pretty bad for me and that I would change it. And a lot of people didn't really listen to that part and they were like, oh my god, Horus engine topped again, it's insane. But yeah, they were actually by far the worst cards in my deck. And there is absolutely no way in hell I will ever allow myself to touch the Horus cards ever again, because I feel like there is an engine out there that, well, first of all, you can see on your screen, but also is much better than the Horus cards, because you're playing less cards overall, but you're still playing the exact same amount of starters with no bricks, and you can also do pretty much everything that the Horus engine is trying to do in the first place. And that engine is the Millennium engine. Very, very good, very underrated for what it really does, like I said. So one card combo that basically pumps out 7,750 damage on your opponent in 3 summons, and also goes into Snake Eyes Doom Dragon so that you can place a monster in the spell and trap zone. You have one card rank 8 means that you can make Zombie Vampire and then get your stuff going, etc. So it's a really good engine, especially in Crystron. Anything that can really just take advantage of like Zombie Vampire, Photon Lord, the Fiendsmith engine, etc. should definitely look into the Millennium engine. Definitely a great one for sure. Anyways, before we go into these Millennium Crystron combos and deck profile, friendly reminder, of course, to smash the like and subscribe button. Really motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these. And also check out my Blue Eyes and Crystron spreadsheet, which you can find on my website, yacineygo.com. So, again, very first link at the top of the description box below. And shoutouts to my sponsor, Supreme Pro, so please check out tsx1.com and use the coupon code YACIN10 for 10% off. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, so combo number 1, I've got Sengenjin Wakes from a Millennium, which I actually pulled as a QCR from the bounty packs because I was a bounty duelist at YCS Kudo. Shoutouts to you, Konami, you guys are the best. As well as any monster, it can be anything. So yeah, you're going to be going Effect in the hand, place in the spell and trap zone, not summon from the hand, so you actually dodge Pearlia, because this engine also makes you beat Pearlia really, really well. And then special summon it from the spell and trap zone by paying 2k, so I guess that's like the one drawback, is that in time it's actually really bad. And if your deck just doesn't have a lot of ways to like defend itself, then you can actually get OTK'd, but whatever. We're not really letting our opponent beat us, so it's fine. Summon the Golem and then get the Wedge Temple and then place the Sengenjin and the other Sengenjin, or rather the monster in hand and the second Sengenjin. And then, yeah, summon your Snake Eyes Doom Dragon, which is very convenient because it can also break boards going second by, like I said, placing a monster on the field in the spell and trap zone. And then you overlay for the Zombie Vampire, and then Zombie Vampire detach material, mill 4, and then revive back a monster. If you mill something like a Ghost Ogre, it actually gets extra value on the field because, unlike the other hand traps, it's also like a field trap in a way. And then, yeah, make a Zombie Vampire make an SP Banisher Zombie Vampire so that you don't give any, bestial fuel to your opponent, so that your other cards are not light or dark. But if your opponent milled a light or dark, then it defeats the purpose, but whatever, you get the point. And then, yeah, banish the Smyger, because obviously we're talented in the game. We're obviously milling Smyger. We're good like that. We're either milling Smyger or Theisvern. It doesn't matter. Every path leads to Rome. If you mill Theisvern, you can literally search Solfidol and then tribute summon it, because we haven't used the normal summon yet, and then we just play from there. So yeah, at this point, obviously, one card combo makes 4 disruptions. It's just beautiful to look at, right? We have SP, we have a monster revive back off of Zombie Vampire, we've got Infinity, Citri, Tristalos, Cluster. We've got all of this. Literally every card on the field other than the Wedge Temple is a disruption. So all I have to say is good luck to the opponent. Try to break this board. This was done with one single Sengenjin and any monster in Yugi Mons. Alrighty, so this time we are going first again, and we have Sengenjin as well as a hand that looks like it plays really hard into Mochimi Pearlia, and we are getting hit by Pearlia on our own standby phase. So the goal is to give 0 draws to the opponent and still respect Nibiru and hand traps as much as humanly possible. So yeah, summon that Sengenjin and then get our search for the Golem. Again, we're giving 0 draws to the opponent. Search for the Wedge Temple and then inclusion, Surge of Solfador. So we're actually playing normally. It's not like we're playing worse into Pearlia. And then we're going to be placing the Solfador from the hand. Very importantly, this is actually something that is good. It's not even something that is like mid or like something that is like whatever. It's not neutral. It's actually a positive thing, because now the Solfidol, instead of summoning itself from the hand, it summons itself back from the graveyard, which means no draws from for the opponent. We're going to be summoning so many monsters that we actually want to clear space and put that Golem in the spell and trap zone with Snake Eyes Doom Dragon, so that we can make a Photon Lord. Or we also could have went for like Zombie Vampire, mill a bunch of cards, bait some hand traps, and then make it like make an SP Little Knight, whatever. Again, like I said, there's so many things that we can do. But yeah, now we're going to be going Graveyard Effect of Solfador, destroy the inclusion, and then at this point our opponent can nib us. and we're just gonna be like, nah, not today. Photon Lord, negate that shit. And then send the Sulfnir as well as the Smyger. Smyger can search the cluster, and then Sulfnir discard the Tristalos, and then destroy itself, so that we can summon any two from the deck, so Citri or Tristalos. But since we already have Tristalos in rotation, we might as well summon the Citri, since we can revive it back with the inclusion. And then yeah, Elskeletus, recycle back the Smyger, and then Tristalos Graveyard Effect, destroy the Elskeletus. Tristalos destroy the Elskeletus to summon 2/5s from the deck, and then Elskeletus revive back the Tristalos from the banished, and then make Nova, and then Infinity, and like I said, inclusion, revive back that Citri, so that Citri can revive back E5 after we negate it. Actually, well, we already have E5 in the grave. But in combo number 1, we would have to go Infinity Negate first, and then we have a 5 in the grave, and then Citri can use its effect, Quick Sync into Dragster Negate, so decrease its level by 2, and then we can go Cluster, destroy a face-up card on the field, shuffle back the Citri, and then we can go at any moment, Tristalos effect chain, summon the Citri that we just shuffled back using the Cluster, as well as the Dragster that is level 5 because we negated with it, and then we can make Quarren Gondrax because we have 2 level 2 tuners as well as a level 5 non-tuner. I'm speaking at the speed of light, and I'm assuming that you understand everything because you are a Chad, especially if you're watching my videos. But anyway, set your Cluster, and at this point that would be 6 disruptions as well as, you know, the other cards that you got in your hand, and you were able to give 0 draws to your opponent through Molchemi Perolia, as well as Respect Nibiru by making a Photon Lord, or also that could have been like a zombie vampire if you're trying to bait hand traps naturally. There's like infinite options. The world is your oyster, especially when you're playing a water deck like Crystron. Anyways, let's get into the deck profile now. Alrighty, so for the deck profile, this is how I would be playing the deck moving forward. I want to play more hand traps because I feel like when all I have is like Forbidden Droplet and not enough hand traps, my opponent still makes, you know, an unbreakable board and then I lose. And the issue with the Chummies is that if you draw them, you're not guaranteed to win because they can actually get countered by 4 cards. Well, I mean, technically 5 cards. They can get countered by Ash, Call by the Grave, and Crossout. Whereas if you have like Droll, it's harder to counter, and sometimes like Imperm will resolve because your opponents don't necessarily play Imperm themselves, so they might actually not have Crossout for it, and obviously it's unaffected by Call by the Grave. So Imperm is like a new addition, I mean a newer addition kind of that I want to make in this deck. Just make sure that I play it, as well as 2 Droplet, because like I said, this card is a card that you can top deck, but also it's just not enough to break your opponent's board. When it comes to me, I was usually just never really resolving Droplet to send like more than 2 cards. It was always just 2 cards, so if it does like almost the same thing as Imperm, I might as well prioritize Imperm over Droplet. It's just that this card, it really almost guarantees that you win the game when you draw it for turn and your opponent made like a good half board. The hand traps are there to prevent your opponent from making a full board, and the Droplet and I guess the Imperm are there to like break the half boards. So that's like the best takeaway from this, actually. So yeah, 17 non-engine. I don't think there's like a way to really play more non-engine other than, I guess, cutting Sengenjin to 2, which I don't really want to do. I think this deck is good like that. And for the Crystron ratio, I'm not really going to explain it because I'm assuming that you understand everything. But obviously, it's always going to be 1 Citri, 2 Tristalos. A lot of people are wondering, why are you not playing 3 Tristalos? This card does nothing on its own, man. It really just does nothing on its own. Why would you play 3 copies of a card that does nothing on its own? It doesn't matter if you think that the card is good, it still does nothing on its own. And it's not really like it combos with your normal summons. If you draw Tristalos Citri, Tristalos Theisvern, Tristalos Sprasiodal, or Tristalos Smyger, or even Tristalos Sulfador, it's really shitty. It's really bad. Whereas if you draw like Sulfnir with literally any other Crystron card, you get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's not the same thing. Tristalos usually will end up being another normal summon and will clog your hands. 2 is the best ratio for sure. Just test it out and you will understand why. It's not a card that you can play as a 0 or 1 of, or as a 3 of. Just play 2. Anyways, 1 Theisvern, 1 Prasiodal. Again, this card is a must. If you don't play it, it just means that you haven't had access to my Crystron spreadsheet because all the combos with Prasiodal are very clearly explained. It's just you can't miss it. Like, this card is actually involved in infinite combos. You're actually doing a lot of effort to like be stupid if you don't understand why this card is a must. Or you don't have it in my spreadsheet. Literally one of the 2. Actually, no, I'm just kidding. Anyways, 2 Salvador, 3 Smyger, 3 Sulfnir, 3 Inclusion, and 1 Foolish. No shit. I'm trying to max out on the good cards. And then for the Millennium cards, 3 Sengenjin, even though it's like very interchangeable because they kind of all do the same thing. Every path leads to Rome. 3 Sengenjin, 1 Golem, and 1 Wedju. So yeah, Golem gets you to Wedju, and then Wedju can play Sengenjin, then Sengenjin can search another Sengenjin, and then you can play Sengenjin so that you can make Snake Eyes Doom Dragon, and then with Wedju Temple, you're going to be able to search the Sengenjin, well, I mean, plays the Sengenjin, and then search, special, and search, and then do things and do other things. Well, whatever. Like I said, you obviously get the point. It just, we're definitely playing 40 cards, not trying to play 45 or some weird numbers. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. It's total copium. For the extra deck, obviously, 1 Quarren Gondrax, the Samurai Destroyer, double Elskeletus, Double FA down Dragster, same reasoning for like the 2 Tristalos and the Praseodal. If you don't understand why the second Dragster is here, it just means that you don't have access to my Crystron spreadsheet, which you definitely should get, because this card absolutely comes up literally all the time. It is a must. It is not a win more. It is actually a card that is needed in order to win. It really is, but it's very easy to revive back with Clockwork Knight, so it's really cool to have access to this card very easily. Anyways, one Shinbara. You can also play the Hagoita instead of Photon Lord, and then Infinity Nova, Typhon, Zombie Vampire, Photon Lord speaking of the Devil, and then Snake Eyes Doom Dragon, SP, and Clockwork Knight. Very clean extra deck. And for the side deck, we're trying to respect Malice, so 3 Meows, 3 Lancia, 3 Impulse, which you are always siding out the Millennium cards when you are bringing this in. And when you're going first, this card does not conflict because it only conflicts when you use it from the hand, but if you set it first, it's basically a solemn warning. So that's the reason why this card is kind of like a going first and a going second card at the same time. Fantastic card for sure, and also you get rewarded for playing Imperm in this deck, because now it will negate and destroy, which is very, very good against like Habakiri, because now your opponent also doesn't have the body in the hand so that you can like actually just ritual summon, but if your opponent has the prayers, then you lose anyway, so it is what it is. Anyways, 1 Magnamut, 1 Druid's Worm, 1 Call by the Grave. Obviously, I used to play Talent instead, and then main deck the Call by the Grave and play 41. You can also do that for sure. And finally, 3 Solemn Strike or Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment. Literally any going first card of choice. Could also be Different Dimension Ground or, I don't freaking know, something. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know why you think that Crystron is the best deck. Is it because Crystron is the best deck, or is it because Crystron is the best deck? You know, it's a really difficult question. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you guys very, very, very soon. Peace.